Welcome to our channel. Today we invite you on a captivating journey through time with 80 stunning photos that capture the essence of America, past and present. Dive into these remarkable moments of history and transformation, and don't forget to share which 1 West Main Street in Kent, Ohio, before 1910 offers a charming snapshot of small-town America, with horse-drawn carriages, dirt roads, and quaint storefronts lining the street. This serene image captures a simpler time before the rapid urbanization that would transform the town in the decades to come. Its grand opening in 1928 to its stunning revitalization in 2021, Cleveland's Playhouse Square has transformed into one of the most vibrant theater districts in the United States. Once a hub of vaudeville and cinema, it now shines as a modern cultural landmark, blending its historic charm with contemporary elegance. In 1947, Route 44 in Rootstown Center was a quiet country road surrounded by open fields and small businesses. By 2023, it had become a bustling thoroughfare, reflecting the growth of suburban life and modern infrastructure, yet still retaining hints of its rural origins. The Boston apartment where John F. Kennedy lived in 1959 reflects a pivotal time in his life as he prepared for his presidential campaign. By 2024, the building stands as a preserved historical site, a reminder of the humble beginnings of one of America's most iconic leaders. Nicknamed the Unlucky House, this San Francisco residence became infamous for its series of mishaps in the 1930s. Despite its troubled past, the house in 2022 appears serene, restored with modern renovations, yet still whispers of the eerie tales that once surrounded it. A black and white photograph of a car crash in Brooklyn from 1941 captures the aftermath of a simpler, slower era of driving. The image, frozen in time, serves as a stark contrast to the busy, fast-paced traffic of modern Brooklyn streets. In 1865, Charleston bore the scars of the Civil War, with its streets littered with rubble and its buildings ravaged by conflict. This haunting image stands as a testament to the resilience of a city that would rebuild itself into the historic and vibrant place it is today. During the Great Depression, Central Park became a symbol of survival, with makeshift shelters for the homeless and public works projects revitalizing the space. Today, it thrives as a green oasis in the heart of Manhattan, its history a poignant reminder of the city's endurance. One of the few structures to survive the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, the Chicago Water Tower stands as a symbol of resilience and architectural beauty. Today, it continues to grace the city's skyline, blending its historic roots with the surrounding modern skyscrapers. The Hoover Dam, a marvel of engineering, faces a sobering reality with drastically lower water levels in 2022 compared to 1983. This stark comparison highlights the ongoing challenges of climate change and water resource management in the American West. Once a bustling coal town, Welch, West Virginia, tells a story of both prosperity and decline. Its downtown area showcases remnants of its thriving past, juxtaposed with the quiet streets of today, reflecting the region's struggle to adapt to economic change. Los Angeles in the 1910s was a growing city of opportunity, with sprawling orange groves and a burgeoning film industry. Today, it's a global metropolis of skyscrapers and freeways, yet pockets of its early charm remain preserved amidst its urban sprawl. The Venn Boom Chair Factory in Quincy, Illinois, epitomized industrial progress in 1880. By 2018, the factory stands as a relic of history, its weathered exterior a reminder of the town's manufacturing legacy and the evolution of industry over time. Unveiled in 1920, the Lincoln Memorial statue has become one of America's most revered monuments. Its majestic presence, flanked by timeless architecture, continues to inspire visitors and serve as a focal point for national unity and reflection. The Lackawanna Railroad Sussex branch in 1911 was a lifeline for New Jersey's rural communities, connecting people and goods. By 2021, the abandoned tracks and overgrown paths have become a scenic trail, blending history with nature and recreation. During the Civil War, Charleston's Hibernian Hall stood as a symbol of resilience amidst the destruction surrounding the city. Used as a meeting place for community leaders, it endured despite the scars of war. Today, the hall remains a historic landmark, its grand architecture preserving the memory of a turbulent era in American history. The Hollywood sign, originally erected in 1923 as Hollywoodland, was a marketing ploy for a real estate development. Over the decades, it transformed into a symbol of the entertainment industry and Los Angeles itself. Now restored and standing tall, the sign continues to inspire dreamers from around the world. A quintessential slice of post-war Americana, this image of a family posing with their 1947 Chevrolet in front of a roadside diner captures the optimism of the era. The car, a symbol of prosperity and freedom, evokes memories of simpler times and the golden age of the American road trip. The San Francisco LGBTQ Center, first opened in 1979, served as a safe haven and resource hub during a pivotal time for the gay rights movement. By 2024, the center has evolved into a vibrant and inclusive space, reflecting the progress and ongoing advocacy for equality and acceptance. Bathgate Avenue in 1936 was a bustling street lined with vendors and small businesses, embodying the vibrant community life of the Bronx. The image captures a slice of urban history, showcasing the resilience and spirit of working-class neighborhoods during the Great Depression. Once a thriving resort in the Catskills during the 1950s, the Pines attracted vacationers seeking leisure and entertainment. Today it stands abandoned, its crumbling structures a haunting reminder of the decline of the region's once bustling hospitality industry. Broad Boulevard in the early 1900s was a picturesque street with trolley tracks and charming storefronts. Today it has transformed into a modern thoroughfare, yet echoes of its historic past remain in the preserved architecture and community landmarks. Built in 1900, the Lead and Die building in Tempe was a cornerstone of the local economy. Over a century later, it stands repurposed as a contemporary space, seamlessly blending its industrial heritage with modern functionality, a testament to adaptive reuse in urban development. Los Angeles has evolved dramatically over the decades, from its early days as a modest pueblo to a sprawling global metropolis. The city's transformation is reflected in its skyline, transportation systems, and cultural landmarks, showcasing its growth into a hub of innovation and diversity. In 1907, Matt's family homestead was a modest farm surrounded by untouched wilderness. By 2024, the homestead has grown into a thriving property, with modern amenities integrated into the original structures, reflecting the enduring legacy of family and tradition. A synagogue converted into a Buddhist temple in 1986 reflects the dynamic cultural shifts within urban neighborhoods. Today, the building serves as a vibrant place of worship, symbolizing the blending of traditions and the evolution of community identities. Pennsylvania Avenue during the 1860s, with its muddy roads and sparse buildings, offered a stark contrast to the grand capital it would become. Today, the avenue is a bustling thoroughfare lined with monuments and government buildings, embodying the power and history of the nation. In the 1860s, Deadwood was a rugged gold rush town filled with saloons and miners. Today, it retains its Wild West charm with carefully preserved buildings, now catering to tourists eager to experience the rich history and legends of the Old West. The elevated trains of Manhattan in the 1920s were vital for the city's growth, connecting neighborhoods and facilitating commerce. By the 1980s, many lines were dismantled to make way for subways and urban renewal projects, marking the end of an iconic era in New York transit history. In the 1900s, the Macon Ferry was a vital lifeline for rural communities, providing transportation across the river. By 2022, modern bridges have replaced the ferry, yet the site remains a nostalgic landmark, symbolizing the progress and ingenuity of the past. In the 1950s, Georgeville Road and Sullivan Avenue reflected the charm of mid-century America, with modest homes and tree-lined streets. By 2022, the area had evolved with widened roads, modern infrastructure, and a mix of old and new buildings, while still maintaining its suburban character. An 1890 photograph of ice skaters in Central Park captures a magical moment in New York City's history. Bundled in winter attire, skaters glide across the frozen pond, showcasing a timeless tradition that continues to enchant visitors to this day. In 1925, Las Vegas was a small desert town with a few scattered buildings and dirt roads. Today, it's a glittering metropolis of neon lights, grand casinos, and endless entertainment, epitomizing the transformation of a quiet settlement into a global icon. Main Street in Scenery Hill retains much of its historic charm, with quaint shops and homes reflecting its 19th century roots. The area's preservation showcases the community's dedication to honoring its past while adapting to modern life. In 1908, W. Kimmel's store and residence served as a hub for Rootstown residents, offering goods and a gathering place. Though the original structure is gone, the site remains a reminder of small-town commerce and the local entrepreneurs who shaped their communities. The Big Dig transformed Boston's skyline and infrastructure, addressing traffic congestion with an ambitious underground highway system. Despite delays and costs, the project, completed in the 2000s, has reshaped the city, blending functionality with urban aesthetics. A devastating fire in New Bedford in 1965 destroyed several historic buildings, highlighting the challenges of fire safety in older structures. The city has since rebuilt, preserving its maritime heritage while incorporating modern safety standards. A photograph of Union soldiers in Alexandria, Virginia, during the Civil War captures a moment of determination and resilience. The town, occupied by Union forces, served as a key strategic location, leaving behind a rich tapestry of wartime history. Construction on Mount Rushmore began in the 1930s, with workers carving the faces of 4 U.S. presidents into the granite mountainside. This monumental feat of engineering and artistry has become an enduring symbol of American ideals and ambition. In 1917, Rootstown Township School was a modest, one-room schoolhouse embodying rural education. By 2015, the site had transformed into a modern educational complex, reflecting over a century of growth and commitment to learning. The Erie Canal in 1892 was a bustling waterway, with Lockport's locks serving as a hub for commerce and transport. By 2021, the historic site remains operational and preserved, a testament to its enduring role in American industry and history. The 100th meridian in 1866 marked the frontier between the East and the West. Today, Kearney, Nebraska, stands as a thriving town, blending its pioneer heritage with modern development while commemorating its historical significance. In 1938, Ada, Ohio, was a quaint town with brick roads and local businesses lining the streets. Today, it has retained its small-town charm, with modern updates blending seamlessly with its historic architecture. The building at 476 Broadway in 1870 was a prime example of cast-iron architecture, reflecting New York's industrial boom. In 2023, the structure stands restored, housing modern businesses while preserving its 19th century elegance. In the early 1900s, Miami Beach was a quiet coastal area with sparse development. Today, it's a bustling hub of luxury hotels, vibrant nightlife, and cultural diversity, epitomizing South Florida's transformation into a global destination. A dirt trail used by settlers in the 1860s evolved into a paved road by the 1930s, symbolizing the progress of transportation infrastructure. This transformation reflects the country's journey from frontier exploration to modern connectivity. In the 1900s, Monroe Falls Avenue was a quiet, tree-lined road with small homes and businesses. Today, it's a bustling street, showcasing the growth of the community while preserving its historical charm. In 1868, San Francisco's skyline lacked its most iconic feature, the Golden Gate Bridge. The area was dominated by rolling hills and a rugged coastline, a stark contrast to the engineering marvel that would define the city by 1937. Congress Avenue in 1901 was a dusty thoroughfare lined with horse-drawn carriages and small shops. Today, it's the vibrant heart of Austin, bustling with skyscrapers, local businesses, and a lively cultural scene. In 1982, the intersection at Porter Ranch was surrounded by open land and suburban developments. By 2022, it had transformed into a modern hub, reflecting Los Angeles' continued expansion and the rise of urbanization in its outer neighborhoods. In 1961, the Sahara Lounge in Brooklyn was a lively hotspot for music and nightlife, capturing the essence of mid-century jazz culture. By 2024, the building remains standing, though repurposed into a modern venue, blending its historic charm with contemporary aesthetics, a nod to Brooklyn's evolving cultural landscape. In the 1890s, 21 Pearl Street was a modest structure nestled in New York's bustling Lower Manhattan, reflecting the city's industrial boom. By 2024, the site has been transformed into a sleek modern building, symbolizing the ever-changing face of New York City while honoring its historical roots. In 1920, San Francisco was a growing urban hub, with cable cars and early skyscrapers beginning to dominate the landscape. Today, the city's skyline features iconic landmarks like the Salesforce Tower and Transamerica Pyramid, reflecting its transformation into a global tech and cultural center. The Manhattan Bridge, completed in 1909, was a marvel of early 20th century engineering. In 2021, it remains a vital connection between Manhattan and Brooklyn, a timeless piece of infrastructure blending historical significance with modern urban life. In the 19th century, Honolulu was a serene coastal town surrounded by natural beauty, with small wooden structures and native Hawaiian influences. Today, it has grown into a bustling capital city, balancing high-rise modernity with its rich cultural and historical heritage. J. Uplinger's Groceries and Post Office was a cornerstone of its small-town community in the early 20th century, serving as both a place of commerce and social gathering. Though long gone, its memory lives on as a symbol of simpler times in American small-town life. A Monroe Falls institution, the barber shop in the early 1900s was a hub for local conversation and camaraderie. Today, though the original shop has been replaced, the spirit of community remains in the modern businesses that occupy the space. The 1957 New York City skyline was dominated by the Empire State Building and Chrysler Building, symbols of an era of architectural ambition. By 2021, the skyline features new additions like One World Trade Center and Hudson Yards, reflecting the city's continuous growth and resilience. In 1892, Old Town Center in Chester, Massachusetts, was a quaint hub of local life, with charming wooden storefronts and dirt roads. Today, the area has retained much of its historical charm, with preserved architecture standing alongside subtle modern upgrades. The house where Lincoln's conspirators met in 1865 was a dark chapter in American history. Today, the building is preserved as a historical site, offering visitors a glimpse into the events surrounding the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln, ensuring that its lessons are not forgotten. In 1959, this Krispy Kreme store served as a beacon for donut lovers, complete with its iconic green and red signage. Today, while the original location has been repurposed, its legacy lives on as Krispy Kreme continues to delight fans across the globe. Once the home of Confederate General Robert E. Lee, Arlington House became a Civil War landmark and now serves as a museum in Arlington National Cemetery. It offers visitors a glimpse into 19th century history and the complexities of America's past. In 1949, the Great Frederick Fair was a showcase of agriculture and community spirit, featuring livestock exhibits and carnival rides. By 2023, the fair remains a cherished tradition, blending its historic roots with modern attractions to celebrate Maryland's rural heritage. In 1982, Studio 54 was at the height of its fame as a legendary nightclub, embodying the glamour and decadence of New York's disco era. Today, the building has been transformed into a theater, yet its legacy as a cultural hotspot lives on. In the 1920s, Central Avenue and Adams Street in Phoenix were lined with modest businesses and early automobiles. Today, the intersection boasts towering skyscrapers and bustling traffic, reflecting the rapid growth of Arizona's capital city. In 1949, the Miami-Erie Canal in St. Mary's was still a quiet remnant of Ohio's transportation history. Today, parts of the canal have been preserved as recreational areas, offering a glimpse into the state's industrial past. In 1975, Harvey Milk's Castro Camera Shop in San Francisco was a hub for activism and community. By 2024, the site has become a landmark, commemorating Milk's legacy as a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ rights. In 1942, Hamilton, Montana, was a small town surrounded by the stunning landscapes of the Bitterroot Valley. By 2018, the town had grown, blending modern amenities with its charming, historic character. In 1932, Speck Bakery used horseback delivery to bring fresh bread to its customers, reflecting the resourcefulness of businesses during the Great Depression. Though the bakery no longer exists, the image remains a testament to the ingenuity of the era. The early 2000s skyline of Los Angeles was dominated by iconic skyscrapers like the US Bank Tower. While much has changed since, the city's skyline continues to grow, reflecting its role as a hub of innovation and culture. In the early 1900s, Meyersdale's railroad station was a bustling hub for passengers and freight. Today, the station has been restored and repurposed as a museum, preserving its rich history. Promontory Summit in 1869 was the site where the Transcontinental Railroad was completed, symbolizing America's industrial progress. Today, the area is a historic park, commemorating this monumental achievement. In 1959, this intersection in Winston-Salem reflected a mid-century suburban landscape. By 2023, it has transformed into a vibrant urban area, showcasing the evolution of the city while retaining its historic roots. In 1888, Deadwood was a bustling gold rush town with saloons and gambling halls. Today, it retains much of its Wild West charm, preserved as a tourist destination that celebrates its colorful history. In 1900, Elm Street was a major thoroughfare in Dallas, lined with shops and horse-drawn carriages. Today, it's a vibrant urban corridor, blending historic buildings with modern developments. The site of the 1969 Woodstock Festival remains iconic, with its rolling fields preserved as a tribute to the legendary music event. By 2020, it had become a cultural landmark, hosting concerts and events that honor its legacy. In 1882, Detroit was an industrial powerhouse on the rise, with factories and burgeoning neighborhoods. Today, the city is undergoing a renaissance, blending its historic architecture with revitalized districts that highlight its cultural richness. 79 Commercial Street in Provincetown has long been a focal point of the town's artistic and LGBTQ+ communities. Its transformation over the years mirrors the town's evolving identity as a welcoming and vibrant cultural hub. The Captain John Rogers home, built in the 1800s, stands as a preserved piece of Ohio history. This historic residence continues to draw visitors, showcasing early American architecture and the life of its original owners. Abraham Lincoln's home in Springfield, Illinois, was the site of many pivotal moments in his life before becoming president. Today, it has been meticulously preserved as a National Historic Site, offering a window into the personal life of one of America's most revered leaders.